ARC Troopers, you have been selected for this task because you are the best. Then, I will join you.
What's happening, internet? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrian, aka Foamm Cosplay. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, absolutely love Star Wars, and the thing I love most about it is the Clone Troopers. I really absolutely adore the Clone Troopers, especially the ARC Troopers in particular. So I decided, now that I've been wadding my previous stuff like my G.I. Joes, that the figures that I had, I was going to turn them finally into ARC Troopers. I'm going to introduce you to the ARC Troopers I have now, what I did to turn them into ARC Troopers. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoy. You will need your Clone Wars action figures. I also needed white spray paint and white brush paints. I used black acrylic paint, blue paint, and I used red. To make extra pauldrons, kamas, and breastplates, I then used some spare craft foam I had. I also used glue to bring it together. You can use any kind of glue as long as it works on foam. As for tools, you'll mostly just need cutters, scissors, and tweezers. Last but not least, you will also need paint brushes. In total, I have 13 Clone Trooper figures, including one 6-inch Black Series. And of the 13 figures, I'm going to go over 7 in particular who didn't really have any paint job or were repeats of Phase 2 figures I had. The only figures safe from modding were Alpha 17, Fordo, Rex, Cody, Cloud. Everyone else was getting promoted to ARC Trooper. Step 1 was going outside and getting everything painted white because I tried modding before, so I had to go over everything with white just to start fresh. Once I sprayed all of them down and then let them dry, I then brought them back and proceeded to paint all of their undersuit with black color. Once that was done, I painted all their forearms and lower legs silver. I drew rectangles and shin guards to know where I would paint their corresponding color schemes. And then for most of them, I gave them blue, and for 2 of them in particular, I gave red. I made sure to have white paint on standby, and it was very helpful in covering up all of the details that I didn't want seen. The most difficult parts to paint were the helmets actually, because I had to turn all of my Phase 1 troopers into Phase 2 troopers, and the way I did that was by putting their T-visors and making them wider. But in the end, going over any imperfections with white paint, it all worked out. And the last pieces I put in were their distinguishing armor pieces. A lot of these figures already did have pauldrons and kamas. For those who weren't lucky enough to get their own, I then made them out of my usual favorite material, craft foam. I just cut it into the right shape, glued it, held it in place. Once all the pieces were in place and the figures were painted, they turned out amazing. I'm going to go over each of them, as well as the backstories I gave them one by one. First of the figures is Captain Skull. He used to be a Revenge of the Sith plain white trooper. I gave him Captain Fordo's Phase 1 pauldron, as well as his own pistol holster, which I mounted on his kama made out of foam. He's got the toughest design out of all of them. His helmet has a skull on it. He's got red highlights along his arms, as well as along his leg, knee pads, and even his feet. He's got a rangefinder I got from another figure, and I'm very happy with this design. My personal favorite of the bunch, Captain Sparks. He used to be a Legends ARC Trooper until I turned him into a canon ARC Trooper. He's got a lightning bolt on the upper left side of his helmet, red highlights. His pauldron and kama came with the original figure, and all of his red marks are highlighted in black. Now for figures previously seen on my channel, the first of the blue troopers is Lieutenant Viz, who you may remember from my Star Wars stop motion from a few months back, and now he is a full-fledged ARC Trooper. He used to be a simple Phase 1 clone lieutenant with light blue stripes. His pauldron comes from the Clone Wars Captain Rex figure, which I just added mag pouches to. He carries a sniper rifle as well as a DC-15. As for his partner, we have Heavy Gunner Kilo, who looks a lot more menacing than before because of his new color scheme. I gave him silver accessories where blue wasn't intimidating enough. His kama is his, but his pauldrons come from my Galactic Marine figure, which is no longer with me. He carries rotary cannon and looks like the envy of every set pack. Now for my most senior figure, this clone pilot, his nickname's Blaster. I actually lost him and then he still found his way back to me. I repainted him white, gave him blue highlights. He doesn't get pauldron and kama because he's a pilot, but I did give him his life support systems, which is made out of foam, and I drew a flintlock pistol where his Republic seal should be. we have Lieutenant Monark, who used to be a Phase 1 Clone Wars Captain Rex figure. His pauldrons are his own, but his kama is his own, but his pauldrons I made out of foam. He was the first one whose armor I made, and then his helmet I got from my Commander Cody figure. He reminds me a lot of Captain Von actually. Last but not least is ARC Trooper Zak. Zak because he used to be a Commander Cody figure. Disney kids will understand. He's wearing Phase 1 Captain Rex's helmet. Then I gave him pauldrons and kama and breastplate out of EVA foam. I didn't really like this figure because he's not the same size as everyone else. He's kinda small, but he's an ARC Trooper nonetheless, and because of my modding work, he'll fit in with the rest of the guys. Here are some shots of all the figures together as a group, in pairs, in fives, and any other combination of them I can think of. And that was my Clone Trooper custom collection. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, I hope that I helped you possibly in your own modding. And until next time, may the Force be with you.